So I'm as I said, practicing visual artist, and this is just a piece I did on Sunday. Imagine there's no fracking, and that was for Yoko Ono's 80th birthday, and I was invited. I'm a collaborator in my practice, and I was invited by Andil Gosin at VideoFag in Kensington Market. Anybody been to VideoFag? No? Okay, well, you should come. So 10 years ago, we're showing you slides here of the very first Come Up to My Room, and basically, we were asked to come back this year in the 10th anniversary to recreate the magic with Noah Bronstein and David Dick Agnew. And Come Into My Room is Gladstone Hotel's annual alternative design event, as I said. We invite artists and designers to come and, in some ways, spill out their imagination and play that goes on in their heads. They might not get to do that in their full-time jobs and as design practitioners or architects, but also as visual artists who use design strategies. Again, Christina and I are not designers, so why did we start this design event? Because we felt that there was a need to create a dialogue with people who just didn't fit into the mainstream version of like IDS or other types of venues, and there wasn't enough for the independent out there. So we're focused on looking at producers and collaborators, design collectives, artist collectives who worked with site specificity and installation work. Of course, the medium of installation art is a good, I would say it started late 60s, 70s. You can even go back further than that. And it's about location, site, bringing the viewer in and participating with the artwork rather than the white-walled experience where you're just looking at 2D work. So sculpture is a big element of the exhibition. How many of you have been to Come Up to My Room? All right on, okay, so you guys know, right? You're the believers. Oh, no. God, tough audience. Here we have Castor. Castor, they're very interesting people. Designers, architects, makers, and restaurateurs. And we started to get a little bit more interesting in terms of the applications we would see. This is Ko and Waito. This was a sea, what are those called? Not urchins, but underwater jellyfish. Thank you. Yeah, and that's all beautiful ceramic porcelain. This is D.B. Johnson. He is a fantastic self-taught cabinet maker, and he wanted to create a nest, like a bird's nest, in which you humans could go up and nest in. So this was his installation. And these, after the first year, because it was really hard to explain what we were looking for, people who came to the show started to then make sense of the site specificness of it. So this is all up on the second floor above you. And the Gladstone didn't look like this 10 years ago. In fact, Queen Street didn't look like this, you know? So you had your local John out there and crack dealer. And you hung out with, but that's okay. So, and artists, of course. And of course, the immigrant culture down in Parkdale as well. And so it was a big mix and wide variance of low income to middle income to high income that was moving in. Of course, the gentrification that follows. And so we were still rough enough to create this kind of vibe, right? Where it wasn't very mainstream and people were looking for something different during the IDS show. So yeah, the idea then was about occupying this space, creating the magic, whether drama, conceptual, experimental. And of course the Gladstone here down on Queen Street, as I said, was the backbone of the event. And it was an interesting event because it was probably like the very first large-scale event in which we invited like masses of people in. Before that, there was the Broncos like the ballroom, which was formerly known as Broncos, the Melody Room. You know, it was like where you came maybe and drank with friends, but not to events like this. So we were doing something very transformative. Loyal Loot, people started to find out about it through the beauty of social media. They came from Alberta. This is a beautiful collaboration between Alison Mitchell and Paul Campbell, who used to have a store called Magazine Flair. Maybe some of you might remember. And the installations just got I would say every year I loved every year, and I finished in 2008 as co-curator, and I moved on to my own practice, and I'm also a alternative high school teacher by day. I moonlight, and that helps bring some of these elements into what I do as a art and media teacher. So as I said, we ran parallel to IDS. They loved it, I'm sure, somewhere in their deep down in their hearts. And along the way, there was other things that started happening besides parties. But recently we had the Toronto Offsite Design Festival, which now has about 40 offsite shows during Toronto International Design Week. So Come Up to My Room is now one of 40 in that offsite. So that's pretty amazing. And to also, what's another amazing thing is that it happened through this event. Often we're asked, well, why did Toronto need this? I think, Toronto is a hotbed for interesting practitioners and thinkers, but we often beat ourselves up, and we're always trying to be something else, or we're always becoming something else, but we never in some way or form support a continuous dialogue. That's Tiff Isa. I've been following Tiff Isa. That's the last slide, but Tiff Isa was a OCAD student when I was working at Winnipeg Gallery, and I followed her work for quite a while, and she was living in Germany when she applied. So can we go back to that slide? No? Oh, okay. So I guess my 20 times 20 is up. I'm going to end on Common Thread, which is collaboration with the Quadrangle Architects installation. And that's Caroline Robbie, Kathy Mulla, Francis Hahn, and Tor McGlade. And it's using the metaphor of a carpet, the tapestry. And that being said is the thread that's in a tapestry as like a carpet. So it's not just one single thing that makes the carpet or the tapestry. It's many different things. And that's the beauty of Come Up to Our Room. It's not us as the co-founders or co-curators, but it's also the participants, the general public, the critical eye that Toronto gives us and whatnot, and of course the larger framework of the Design Festival. Thank you so much.